Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry for interrupting your lunchtime, but can I have your attention, please? My classmates looked at me with surprise. I stood at the back of their room and banged on the blackboard. I need to get their attention. You can listen while you eat. I want to talk about your classmate Satoko Hojo. Everyone went quiet as soon as I brought her name. They all knew how bad of a situation Satoko was in. Remembering what happened to her last year, they understood how critical it was that she got help as soon as possible. Everyone was thinking they wanted to save Satoko if they could, but they hadn't done anything because they didn't know what they could do alone. I don't think there's a need for me to explain what's going on with her. As y'all know, Satoko's been absent for 3 days in a row. It's been 3 days since she got kidnapped by her uncle. He called the school and told him that she still has a cold, but I don't believe that. She hasn't even visited the clinic in these past 3 days. My classmates think about this logically for a moment. If she's really that sick, why would he not take her to the clinic for 3 whole days? It's hard to believe that she's been sick for that long, yeah. She might have the flu, but if that's the case, she should be seeing a doctor. The whole class agreed that was a bit strange. Everyone has been thinking the same thing inside their hearts. However, no one had really came forward and talked about it. This was a good start. Just think about it. Satoko's the healthiest girl in the village. She won't even get sick after eating food that's past the expiration date. Expiry date. But now she somehow got sick all of a sudden and missed school for 3 days. That's hard to believe, isn't it? Answer simple. Her uncle is forcing her to stay home. We reported this case to the Child Consolation Center. However, they're putting it on hold. We went there, but all they told us was that they can't talk about it due to privacy reasons. So what do you guys think about all this? I think it's wrong. We all know how her aunt and uncle were treating her last year. Besides, Satoko-chan was living happily with Rika-chan. It's wrong for him to force her to move out there and keep her away from us. And the sight of Rina letting her emotions speak for her when she's normally so quiet demonstrated most of all just how dire the situation was. Rina brought an intensity to this that I couldn't since I often yelled and shouted about things. And we all just couldn't leave things as they are. Satoko is our friend, so she's our classmate. We've spent time together in this small classroom, and we're like family to each other. We learned together, we played together, we ate together, and we fought each other at times. We spent so much time together that our relationship is as tight as a family's. Shouldn't we neglect someone who's that precious to us? Raise your hand if you want to neglect her. I'm sure none of you want to do that. No way, we must help Satoko. Mutter. The class was full of commotion, which is exactly what I was looking for. The louder I talked, the louder my classmates got. They were getting all fired up. The more I let my true colors show, the greater everyone's emotions became as well. Our class is already making its move. We're trying to figure out how we can save her. Did you know that, Tomita-kun? No. I did not. Let me tell you what our plan is. Don't worry, it's not something illegal. We're trying to fight, but we're fighting without breaking the rules. In truth, nothing is more effective in society than taking an orthodox stand. Playing underhanded and striking by surprise may seem more effective, but that is insignificant as a jack in the box. A real orthodox attack can punch through anything. Yeah, I've heard that even in karate, a straightforward punch can deliver the greatest impact. When you think about the physics a bit, it's only natural, straightforward, simple head-on strike would hold the most power. We're already doing the right job by saving Satoko. Therefore, there's no need for us to do anything beforehand to accomplish that. We need to fight openly. Who are we fighting against? It's a good question, Okamura-kun. This is a fight, true. However, we're not going to be violent with anyone. We're following the rules. This is the honest way to conduct a battle. Before we go any further, let me go back to just how we're going to save Satoko. This is the current situation. Satoko is there. Her uncle is locking her up inside the house. Apparently she had no obvious injuries as of yesterday, but we don't know for sure if she has gotten hurt since then. Besides, preventing her from going to school is already child abuse. Check this out. This is that brochure that Mia brought from the Child Consolation Center. It's written clearly in here. Keep a child away from school is abuse. On top of that, her uncle left Satoko on her own for a year. That's considered neglect. Neglect also counts as abuse. However, the Child Consolation Center didn't even take that into consideration. They ignored the fact that he neglected her for 1 year, and they believe that she has come to school because she's sick. They concluded that Satoko is not being abused, but because she has no obvious injuries at the point. What do y'all think? Embarrassing, this is a blatant case of child abuse. Just because she doesn't have any injuries is a proof that she's not getting abused. I agree with him. How come they can't see it? It's so obvious. From what Mia's heard from inside their office, 2 or 3 days is enough time to determine if abuse is taking place or not. Apparently, they can only recognize as abuse that has continued over several months or several years. She says that they had to evaluate the situation very carefully. So what do y'all think about that? Do you think keeping Satoko in the house for several months is a good idea? No way, no way. Exactly, absolutely no way. The Child Constellation Center has no idea how much danger Satoko is facing right now. They don't know how terrible it was for her last year. That's why they're just putting her case on hold. What would you do, Tomita-kun? Sir, I think the issue here is that the Child Constellation Center isn't grasping the urgency of her situation. I think someone needs to go there and explain to them how serious this is. Right, it might be a routine for them to wait and see what happens. But in Satoko-chan's case, that's not applicable. Her uncle was abusing her last year, too. He was taking this stress out on her. After the death of her aunt, he left Satoko-chan all alone and disappeared somewhere for an entire year. You know what? We even have information that he disappeared because he tried to move in with his lover in Okonomiya. What Satoko was doing while he left her, she was unfortunate because Rika-chan offered her a place to stay. But what if Rika-chan wasn't there for her? She'd have no choice but to try and survive on her own. Furthermore, we also know that he came back to Hinamizawa because his lover disappeared somewhere. In other words, she dumped him. He had no choice but to come back to Hinamizawa, and he forced Satoko to live with him again. Her neighbors have seen her doing the laundry, too. The reason he took Satoko with him is clear. He took her so she could work as a slave. How could anyone do something like that? Is there anyone in his class that would call such a rotten person to parent after he spent a full year playing around with his mistress only to come back waltzing back and throwing his weight around? No, no way. You're right, he's not her guardian. But the Child Constellation Center still calls him that. They claim that he'd have to go through family court in order to take his parental rights. Who has the right to decide whether he's good enough to be Satoko's guardian? It shouldn't be the court. It should be decided based on common sense. I can say this clearly. He is not Satoko's guardian. We need to make that clear to the Child Constellation Center. The Child Constellation Center is the only organization that can help Satoko before she's physically abused. The police won't move it unless it develops into a criminal case. But we think that we're going to wait until Satoko becomes a victim? We can't just sit around until that happens. That's why we're going to make our move now. We hit the Okonomiya Child Constellation Center yesterday. This is what they wrote down after what we did. 5 classmates of Satoko Hojo made a visitation to request her protection. Do you know what that means? 5 classmates are not enough. We need your help. We need all of you. This is your chance to do something meaningful in your life. If you don't help us, you're not our friends. All you have to do is support me. I will do all the talking in our club or going to do all the fighting. We just want you guys to support us. If that's not enough, feel free to join the fight. Let them know that the spirit of the Hinamizawa Branch School. Mibera-kun, what is going on? Chisase looked into the classroom and the commotion having attracted her attention. As soon as she tried to step inside the class, someone behind her stopped her. Principal, Miss Chi, I would like to have some tea. Would you make me a cup, please? It was a clear display of his intent not to disrupt Kichi's speech. Are you sure? There's a lot of young children in the class. If they all go to the Child Constellation Center, how can we explain it to their parents? Chi, Furude-san, what's going on here? Everyone is trying so hard for Satoko's sake. I can't do anything, so I need their help. But I can at least try to stop you from stopping them. She had never seen Rika staring at her with an expression like that. She was surprised to see Rika looking so determined. Why would you want to stop them? Principal, this is splendid, isn't it? They should do what they can. I will take responsibility for whatever happens. The principal pounded his own chest. She says they couldn't object any longer. I understand. Please make sure that no one gets hurt. You all must follow the rules and mind your manners. You have to promise me that. Thank you very much. I'm proud of you, Miss Chi. My students are teaching me many lessons. Yes, I've made my decision. My students are like my own children, and what mother wouldn't protect her own children? Alright, head back as soon as you get home today. Meet us at Okonomiya Library. The Child Constellation Center is on the first floor. Yeah. Wait. She said, Sister, you're going to stop us? Certainly not. I truly understand your passion. I'm going to support you as long as you follow the rules. Yeah, I'm coming with you to make sure you behave yourselves. Is that okay? Yeah. Alright, here we go. We're all going to get fired up. We headed for the library as soon as we got back home from school. I expected that few kids wouldn't show up, but surprisingly everyone came along. I could tell just how driven they were. It was also encouraging of Cheese to stay there with us. I have to admit, I have feeling a bit guilty for dragging anyone to the Constellation Center. But as long as Cheese was with us, I didn't need to feel that guilt. Mayberry-san, please come to the counter. Hello, I'm Mayberry. How can we help you today? As I wrote on the registration form, we came to tell you about the dangers Satoko Hojo was in. How many of you are here today? And how are you all related to her? We're Satoko's classmates and her teacher. There are 27 of us. Well, our consultation room is not very large. Can we just ask a few people to come inside as representatives? Then shouldn't you prepare a bigger room like a meeting room? I believe you should be arranging a room for us, not asking us to adjust to yours. Or please just give us a moment. The receptionist seemed troubled. She told us to head back to her seats to start making a phone call to someone. Good job, Reina-san. I consider myself a pro, even though that threat was perfectly timed. How are you trying to compliment me? Reina is good at reading other people's minds. Sometimes she can use that talent against the enemy to intimidate them. A strange atmosphere permitted the office. Permitted? Okay, it must have been the first time my whole class had visited on behalf of one child. It was as though we were here for a school trip. Well, hello there. I'm Harayama, the manager of the center. Please take a seat. I'm sorry for bringing the whole class to your office. I'm chief of the Hinamizawa branch school. We're here to talk with you today. They were treating us so differently now that we had 5 times as many kids plus 1 adult. Instead of that one small consultation room, they took us to a big meeting hall. On top of that, the manager was there alongside the lady from yesterday. I will let Mayberry-kun do the talking. Chisase sat down at the far end of the table. She was just there to look after us. Besides, like I said, we'd be the ones who were going to fight. If it was fine, Chisase just wanted to stay there and watch us quietly. I'm Kichi Mayberry. Nice to meet you. Well, I've heard that yesterday you visited us 5 of your friends representing your valuable thoughts to us on Satoko Hojo-san's case. Are you here on a different matter today? I hadn't expected that they would start the conversation. What were they thinking? I don't like how ambiguous this feels. It feels like they're debating how to move, unsure if the fault lies with us or not. Ki-chen, you should clearly tell them why we came here and let them know that they're in the wrong. My friends are analyzing the situation behind me. It felt like I was having a meeting with the president of a foreign country. Actually, that was far from the truth. I was sort of the prime minister. I was representing the whole class. I need to be polite but stern. Alright, let's attack from this angle then. Ki-chen, tell him something like this. Got it? Mion gave me her attack plan. This is really how Mion operates best. If she's weak on defense, then I can bear the brunt with impudence. While Mion issues perfect orders from behind. I took my friend's analysis and advice into consideration and calmly opened my mouth. Now, first, let me confirm something with you. We've come here today to make sure what we come to convey yesterday was properly conveyed to you. So, I apologize if this seems rude, but could you please tell us how much you grasped from our conversation yesterday? It's alright if that just means reading a memo out loud. They became quiet for a second. It might have been a short time, but the silence felt much longer than that. I could see the manager's expression turning serious. He thought he was just dealing with a social studies class, but suddenly his response changed to that of one dealing with a protest group of local citizens. From my understanding, we acknowledge that you came to appeal that Satoko Hojo-san's is an extreme situation meriting temporary protection from our agency, and that we should expedite our response. I believe that our staff at that time explained that we are not taking our situation lightly, and are currently discussing the appropriate measures. So, taking into consideration the fact that Satoko Hojo was suffering abuse from her uncle at this time last year, you still believe an urgent response is unnecessary? Well, our organization has no confirmed roots that Teppei Hojo-san was administering abuse at the time last year. Mutter. What? What the hell were you guys doing last year? She was being abused by both her aunt and uncle. Please don't tell us that you were only aware of the abuse from her aunt. Normally we don't talk about such private affairs, but under these special circumstances, I think it's acceptable to say. We are aware that there was trouble between Satoko and her aunt Tame-san. However, we have no record showing that her uncle was involved in the abuse. And in fact, we interviewed her neighbor. Several mentioned Tame-san's slight hysteric tendencies, but none ever brought up the name of her uncle Teppei-san. We believe that simply because his abuse didn't stand out under the shadow of her aunt's especially vicious nature. We do not believe that constitutes evidence that her uncle was not abusing her as well. I see, so you claim there was a likelihood that Teppei-san also inflicted abuse on a child at this time last year. The manager and the step behind him jotted that down with a pen as if to show that this was their first time hearing the information. This is why we came here today. We believe that the Child Consultation Center doesn't have a proper understanding of our present situation. We believe you should be able to see how urgent this case is once you fully understand it. I see, we're taking that into consideration. Please also do more thorough investigation into Teppei-san. We mentioned this yesterday as well, but her uncle had abandoned his responsibilities as a guardian for over a year. We received no response on this information yesterday, but what is your organization's opinion on this matter? Of course, our office is aware that Ch.7 was absent from his residence for over a year, and we have interviewed him on that matter. So what was his excuse? I mean, you can't talk about it for privacy reasons, but if it all convinced of you, it must have justified leaving her alone for a whole year, right? If you believe living with his mistress in Okonomiya is sufficient reason for abandoning his responsibilities for a full year, then we would like to receive that in writing. No, this is what happened. He explained to us that he was forced to work away from home in order to raise Satoko-san, so this is our first time hearing that. What the hell, they just believe that crap? If that's your first time hearing that, then you should also know Satoko's been absent from school for 3 days in a row now. While he contacted the school yesterday to say he had a cold, the only hospital in the village, the Irie Clinic, has no records of her being examined. What do you believe the proper response is for a guardian who refuses to take a child to the hospital when she's been bedridden with illness for 3 days in a row? Well, we confirmed that she was absent 1 day, but 3 days in a row is news to us as well. However, our social worker met directly with Satoko-san and confirmed that child in question denies the occurrence of abuse. While we asked if she was to continue to live with Ch.7, she answered in the affirmative. So there's no abuse as long as she says so. That's one of the more difficult aspects. Whether the child herself feels she is suffering abuse or not is a very important factor. It's much like the definition of bullying. While the bully may not believe they are bullying, it's bullying that the representative believes it is. So you can't do anything unless she admits that she's being abused and seeks your help herself. No, that's not quite how it works. Our organization investigates the child's environment, and if we find any problems that might harm her lifestyle, we take appropriate action to protect them. However, we don't believe Satoko's case has reached that level of danger at present. No urgency at this point. That's exactly how the Child Constellation Center felt about Satoko's case. Our classmate who had been watching the discussion burst into an uproar. How can you say something like that? What makes you believe that she's not in danger? First of all, Satoko-san denies the abuse, and not only that, she has no visible injuries either. She also is being provided with shelter, food, and clothes. While we can't say that Ch.7 is not taking responsibility as her guardian, both of them seem to have no complaints about their current living arrangements. We believe that we do need to further discuss Ch.7's past, but unfortunately we also believe that you and your friends are overreacting to the situation. Overreacting? Calm down, Kichi-kan. Let's not take it too personally. Damn it, why are they treating us like this? They think that they're only acting this way based on what happened last year. I see the Constellation Center was amusing that this year's case and last year's cases were two separate issues. On top of that, Satoko is denying the abuse entirely. Ch.7 regrets the fact that he had to leave Satoko alone because of having to work for her sake. He promised that he would stay with her from now on and raise her lovingly. Bang. I heard a loud noise. Someone had just pounded the table. Everyone, including the manager, was startled. I figured it must have been Xian, but it was Reina. Whoa, her face had turned furious as a demon's. It's best for a child to live with their parents. There are things you could only learn from the love of your family. While we heard that Satoko-san was living with her another minor for the past year and has not been living under any adult, this could greatly harm her future as a sensitive, growing child. I'm sure that in your friendship with her, you all believe she may be happiest that way, but you could please give Satoko and Ch.7 the opportunity to restart their new life as uncle and niece and watch them over them kindly. Or you listen to any of the things we said? I say that you're not going to help her unless Satoko asks for your help. How is she supposed to seek help if she's being locked inside her house? She can't even go outside or make a phone call. How can she seek help? We came here instead because she can't be here herself. But you're not even willing to listen to us. That's not what we're trying to say. We will remember that over 20 of our classmates visit to talk about Satoko-san's case. We'll take what happened today into consideration when we make further decisions about her case. When are you going to make that decision? Can you guarantee us that Satoko won't get hurt before that decision is made? If something happens to her, will you take responsibility? If she gets even a single bruise on her body, you're in huge trouble. Shansan, that's enough. Please tell us when you will make the decision. That's right. How long is it going to take you? Like I said, we need to take the matter seriously and make more careful decision. In order to do so, we will continue to meet with the two of them and investigate so that her and her father, her uncle, have a better relationship. Please wait and see what happens for a while. We ask you to do so for her sake. So that's your response. You're saying that it isn't urgent, even though that we came here to tell you that it is. I was starting to get lost of what they were trying to say, but Reina's words made me realize everything. We came here to tell them that they need to protect her right away, but they clearly told us that they didn't see any reason to do so. We understood that there may be a reason for your urgency. We will take your opinion into consideration and make our decision. I hope that will satisfy you. At first glance, it sounded like they were speaking humbly, but our insistence of the urgency till Satoko's situation was spinning in their wheels. They had no intention of meeting us halfway. Right, they are officials, plus they have authority that could change the life of an individual like Satoko. Considering that being a little overcautious and carefully deliberating matters wasn't the wrong response for them, but I would have understood that if it wasn't so personal. But in reality, Satoko had no time to spare. We could see that because we understood everything. We knew how Satoko would reject me after I rubbed her head because of the horrible beat she got from her uncle. That nightmare will come true in just a few days. In that nightmare, I knew that I would save her, but I just wasted my time. I wasn't going to make that same mistake. I had to move immediately. Maybericon, do you say everything that you wanted to? Yes. That's it for today. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. Everyone, please bow to them. Class President, will you take the lead? Thank you very much. No, thank you for your valuable opinions. Alright guys, I'm going to take a few minute break here. Get me a drink, clear my throat, blow my nose a little, whatnot. Come on, let me pause. No, okay. I hate having a stuffed nose. Thank you everyone. Be careful on your way home. You all came back to Higurashi together and it was time for us to part. As the class president, I gave everyone a notice we were being dismissed. However, everyone stuck around and talked about what happened today. We came back to Higurashi on our bikes. We didn't really get to talk with each other. And now that we got enough of them, we finally got to say that what we wanted. This is the first time that anyone in the class has gotten together and fought for someone like this. And it reminds me of the damn conflict. Everyone's feelings are united. That's true. None of these kids participated in the conflict, even though they might remember it when they were a baby. But what we do today was more polite than what they did in the damn conflict. No one is bleeding and there are no bombs or the riot police. Unity is the best thing about Higurashi. That's true. This old man's blood is boiling for the first time in a while. And the people in Higurashi all got together to fight against the damn project. Everyone working together as a team means a lot to the villagers here. And there's one person coming, two should throw rocks at him if there are two, four should do so. If there are four, then 8. And there's 1,000 whole villagers stand up and fight. What's that? A figure of speech? And something that our grandma used to say. She was trying to tell the villagers to band together and fight. When there's one enemy, there's two to fight together, and there are 1,000 whole village to fight together. I see. She wanted the villagers to unite and defeat their enemies. It means more than that. The unity fighting together is one thing, but it also means the whole village should unite and fight for the sake of an individual. It's real meaning that everyone should share the individual's pain and sympathize with them and fight for them too. Wow, that sounds very similar to what's happening right now. In other words, the battle that we're fighting now represents Higurashi as a whole. I see. Everyone supported me because they were impressed by that speech, not because it's their nature to unite like that. The classmates were all sticking around discussing the issues surrounding Satoko. For some of them, this was like a return of the damn conflict, and also a big change for those who never experienced it. It almost felt like a festival. Most of them thought that we didn't make much progress today, though. Maybericon, so their conclusion is that they're not going to save Hojo-san, right? Their answer wasn't that bad, but you're right in the sense that they will watch her suffer. I live close to him, so I know what kind of guy that uncle is. He's not normal. We figured out that the people at the Chalk Isolation Center didn't understand anything, but we can't just give up after today either. Tomita-kun and Nakamura-kun seemed serious. They weren't just supporting me, they wanted to make a move themselves. We're going to have to work hard to save Hojo-san. Yeah, I agree. It's hard to believe that there are the same innocent kid who are always running around the school. I'm really happy to see them so motivated. Of course we are. Satoko is our friend. We are going to save her. So please lend us your support again. No, Mayberry-san, this is our responsibility as our classmates. We're not fighting because you're asking us to. We're doing this because we want to. I'm impressed to hear that from you, Tomita-kun. Shall we go there again tomorrow? I don't think we should take any days off. Because consistency is important. I agree with Reina-san. But it's only going to end up with the same result if we go there with the same people again. I think today was more effective because we were there with more people. Then shall we go there with even more people tomorrow? Mina turned towards everyone as she spoke. We all understood what she was trying to say. Not all children from Hinamisawa go to the Hinamisawa branch school. Around half of them go to the school in Okonomiya. Those children are not our classmates, but they're still our friends from around the neighborhood. Hinamisawa is a small village after all. They know Satoko as well as we do, and they also know what's going on with her right now. Rumors spread at the speed of light in Hinamisawa. I could tell that by now. Everyone in the village knows about my embarrassing history of ongoing punishments. I'll talk to Daisuke when I get home. I bet he'll come with us. I'll call my friends when I get back home too. The school in Okonomiya isn't that far from the library. It's a good idea. I'll try and get more people too. This is turning out well. I think we can get at least 10 more people on our side. I'll try reaching out to a few of the old members of the kids club too. I think they can at least get 3 of them to come with us. I'll ask my friends from the cram school too. But none of them know about Satoku's situation. They're just friends of mine, so it'll only be about 4 people. So do you think it might be difficult to get other adults involved? Well, the people on the town council don't want to do anything to do with the Hojo family. Because of what happened during the dam conflict, how about older people can get old people on our side, Rika-chan? Older people are bitter towards Satoko. People who believe in the curse of Yoshiro-sama really think that the Hojo family deserves what they get. So we can only get more children, but no adults. How many of us will there be? At that rate, there are going to be about 17 more children. I don't know if they'll make it all, but hopefully there'll be more than 40 of us. 40 people, I'm impressed, Kichi. You think 40 is enough, Rika-chan? What? I grinned and tapped Rika-chan's chest. It's not enough. 40 is enough to knock out those stubborn people. We need at least 20 more. I'm sure 60 people will intimidate them. But where can we get that much help? No idea. My name is Kichi Mibera. If I say I'm going to accomplish something, I will. So that's the whole story, Kamade-kun. We're going to launch our 3rd attack tomorrow evening. Will you help us? I don't want to reject your request, okay? We ate that jumbo parfait together. That was our vow as sworn brothers. I want to help you, Kay. But tomorrow is not a good day. What? Why is that, Kamade? You can't lend a hand to this poor innocent girl. Where's your pride as a 2-dimensional warrior? You deserve a beating. Clench those teeth. Ugh. Wait a minute, Kay-san. Please listen to me. I would help her if it wasn't tomorrow. Of course, I love the Ch.7 schoolmates, and normally I'd be happy to even look to go change socks. Oh. But I just can't tomorrow. You bastard. Tell me, Kamade, I'll knock at least 3 of your teeth out, even if you can't make it because of your parents' funeral. I can't come tomorrow because tomorrow is a dessert fiesta here at Angel Mort. What did you say? It's the dessert fiesta case, and it's the dessert fiesta of Angel Mort. It gets bonus points for using it. Here, I got. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I had to sneeze real bad. Okay, you got bonus points. 1 intermission for a mission ticket. I'm not going to invite anyone but you. Let's go out and pick on these sweet, cakes. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Please, Kei-san. I'll help you the day after tomorrow, so please let me go to the fiesta tomorrow. Please, I'm begging you. Ichikun, I think you should let him go for tomorrow. No, I can't. I can't let him go. Come on, you dared to weigh kicks against a real little girl. You only gain the right to eat cake when you can save the girl. For starters, you don't have any understanding how good Satoko is. Listen, Satoko's charm is that which seems, I don't know how to pronounce that. Sun, at first glance, but you can set her off her flag. She goes, okay, He shouldn't have said the greatest appeal of I never know under. I never knew under. Blah blah blah. I never knew how to pronounce that word. So I'm not even going to say it. Maybe next time. I always end up saying thunder. So I mean, normally she's something without, and also eroticism. But when she flipped her switch, she's suddenly a deer. I don't know. The gap between her on and off stage is her charm. She's just like the first and last of Higurashi's plot itself. Okay, so we're breaking the fourth wall again. In other words, Satoko is the true Miss Higurashi. On top of that, she's added the spice of the little sister element that's growing steadier now, as well as being a soak. She's the new generation of a heroine with the perfect level of rebellious spirit, making her a grand, destiny in this world, overflowing with romantically dependent heroines. You want to know how amazing her advent is? She's as incredible as a blonde princess alighting in an open field, but she's not a goddess, so please don't go spouting upload her past, please. If you can understand her appeal, then what are you? Where's your pride as a 2D warrior? What? Would you dare say you're moving to fake 3D now with the increase in our polygon count? You're a century too early. Our progenitors from the age when heroines were displayed in 256-bit with 8 colors. They found love and they're evolving their emotions. Wow, I think it's the first time I've seen the whole screen taken up by text. But this is kind of cringe now, so let's get past this part. None of that was to escape into the 2D world. It was an evolution of love derived from the love of real women. The statues of Venus and the Mona Lisa all are the epitome of our progenitors' feelings of moe. By the way, I think the girl with the fewest pixels was something from something. Young girls nowadays probably can't even tell that she was a girl. Oh, by the way, the princess of something was also an... Come on, stop. What are you saying? If you guys want to stop and read this, go for it, because this is just going without me and I can't keep up. I'm not even pressing enter to skip it all. It just keeps on going. Microsoft. Xbox 360. Yeah, Xbox 360. Oh, I saw Resident Evil. Oh, Metal Gear, Dead or Alive. Oh god, this whole scene is cringe. Oh, finally we can rock and control ourselves at our own pace. Neat. I'm sorry, I was wrong. What was I thinking? What have I done? It's okay, committing mistakes are made so you can realize you made them. You just realize your mistake and became a better man. Take my hand. The door to the next millennium is right in front of you. Kichikun and Kamada-kun seem to be having lots of fun. I have no idea what they're talking about. Well, it's funny because this is like still in the 80s, so... Wow, okay, now... Resident Evil's in the 80s here. Don't bother. I got a can. It's an honest man. I'll help you save that girl. They have dessert fiestas 4 times a year. So if I miss one of them, it's not a big deal. He seems so down, meep. By the way, Mion, you said you were going to give me 3 years worth of dessert fiesta missions as a reward for the auction. Alright, I'll give you 1 year mission if you help me. Kamada-kun. No, thank you, Kay. I'm a man. I'd be ashamed of myself if I was saving this girl because I was getting a reward. Shi-chan, do you think we could do something for him, do you? How about this? I'll remove his name from the blacklist. Blacklist? What's that? Normal customers don't know about this, huh? There are customers that cause trouble in this restaurant sometimes. Whenever they do something wrong, their names get written on the blacklist. Once their names get written down enough times, they're no longer allowed to enter the restaurant. Stop it now. I'm an Angel Morph master. I would never behave so unmannered as to get myself on such a blacklist. You touched a waitress improperly twice. Call the waitress just to talk with her, sell tickets outside of the restaurant, and you'll be forbidden from entering after more transgression. No way. I can't believe this. That's horrible. If I can come to Angel Morph, I have no reason to live. However, I'm impressed that you're so willing to save Satoko. I'll erase your name from this list as a reward. Thank you so much. Hey, Michan, does that blacklist really exist? This old man has no idea. Kamada-kun, thank you. Let me know if you can get a ticket for the next dessert fiesta. I'll invite you. Okay, hug. We reaffirmed our strong friendship. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll bring my whole baseball team members with me. I should be able to get at least 10 people. And it sounds like her uncle is a really crazy guy. Wouldn't it be faster to just kick his ass rather than going to the Child Constellation Center? We can't do that, otherwise he'd take revenge on Satoko-chan. I see. Of course, you can't commit murder either. Alright, let's do it the right way. We don't want to get arrested by the police. 10 people is still not enough. Do you think you can get more people from somewhere? Hey, you need more people, huh? Let me take care of it. Come in agreeing that man suddenly stood up and shouted. Hey, you guys, you heard everything, didn't you? For those who have a ticket for tomorrow, I'm not going to force you, but if you're free, give us a hand. And when the restaurant looked at him, there were a lot of people around. The dessert fiesta is tomorrow, so shouldn't today just been a normal day? You're not wrong, but the people who missed on tickets for the dessert fiesta are here today. All these guys are regulars. I don't know their names, but we see each other all the time in this restaurant. What did you think about this story, guys? The longer I listen, the more upset I get. Isn't that right, my comrades? Locking a real girl up? I want to do that. I mean, I can't allow that to continue. I will punish any guy who can't be nice to a girl. He can't do that. He can do it in his imagination, but it's unacceptable in the real world. Tell us to come with you, kid. We admire your hunger. The Okonomiya Squadron is prepared to enact a rescue operation. Please give us the order to attack. This is Operation Satoko. Okay, all the screen chickens so damn annoying. Make sure your clock is on time and your will is right, and be the day. This may be the day you die. All right. I'm sorry, you guys. Thank you for your help. You don't even know her. We can't invent her just because of a tiny thing like that. Besides, we know very much about Princess Satoko. My fellows and I enjoy indulging in the warm sentiments that fill our hearts when the young lady fails to notice a bit of cream stuck to her chin. Therefore, this is a personal matter for us as well. Alright, you guys, I'm going to rely on you. You can need me back me up, okay? Be ready to fight tomorrow evening. Yeah, KK. I'm not finishing that last one. Kiichi-kun, such a poor, popular guy. He's popular with the town council too. He seems to be popular in the most unexpected places. Lots of other people seem to respect him too. Some of the waitresses here are also concerned about Satoko. They said they want to come and support us when they're off. Well, I guess we have about 60 people now. We need to give them more than that. So this is the power to defeat fate. Yeah, it might be. Very well might be. Alright, I'm gonna take another female break here, guys. Beep. Okay, guys, I am back. Okay, then I attended a meeting for the Minagoroshi Festival Committee. Everyone assembled at the meeting room in the Furude Shrine. I've seen that building a few times, but I hadn't actually seen inside before. There are plenty of pictures depicting the history of the dam conflict on the wall. According to Mion, this assembly building had been used as the headquarters of the dam protests back in the day. There was a huge flag that said Onagafuchi Guardians hanging on the wall. People had written messages on it. I had been called to the meeting so I could introduce myself. While I had been chosen to be the host of the auction several days ago, this is my first time actually attending a meeting. There were about 30 committee members in the room, and my dad and I were introduced to them. Since I'm still a minor, I had to bring him along with me. I'd often heard the term parental rights recently because of Satoko's situation, and because of that, I've been thinking about the relationship between me and my dad. The Maibara family is a pretty happy one, I think. I'm blessed to have parents like them. Hello, I'm Kishi Maibara. This is my first time doing something like this, and I'm very nervous, but I'll do my best. Here, you do your best, young man. Their friendly smiles and applause made me realize again how welcoming people are in this village. I felt pressured as I thought about how big of a responsibility I was going to undertake at a festival. Since I looked so nervous, and the leaders of the committee all came up to me and said that I could just act natural and do my thing. Thank you for offering my son such an important position. I'm sorry that I'm unable to participate in council activities due to my job, but I will do what I can to support my son. Clap, clap, clap. My dad must be used to making speeches. Alright, then we'll break up into groups to start the meeting. It's going to last until 8:50 p.m. Please begin your discussions as soon as you can. The festival committee can be broken into different teams like General Affairs team, a construction team, a refreshment booth team, and a ceremony team. Each team has separate meetings. My dad and I are told to join the event team, but after all, we joined toward the end without knowing anything, and the festival is next Sunday too. Whew, I couldn't understand anything they were saying, and I couldn't even express any opinions anyway. Nodding and pretending to participate in the proceedings was the most we could do. Near the end, I finally got out the information about the auction I needed. I found out what time I was supposed to be the backstage and other stuff about my job like that. They asked me what I was going to wear, and I stopped short. I thought I could just wear my regular clothes, but they suggested that I wear something more flashy since I was the host of the event. But I don't have any clothes like that. How about a suit with a bow tie that would make you look like a real MC? A bow tie that's so embarrassing. I want to wear something more casual than that. How's the meeting going, Ki-chan? What you talking about? They'll talk about what he's going to wear during the auction. If you don't have anything flashy to wear, I can get you something like that. Really? Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Kichi's father. Dad, I don't trust him to get me proper clothes. I'm sure he won't get me anything for men. A bow tie is fine. I'll just wear that. If I didn't compromise on that, Irie and Meow would try and make me wear something outrageous. She also want me to wear women's clothes. You're part of the committee too, huh? Which team are you on? He's on the general affairs team where he's in charge of first aid. We'd always ask for his help since he's a doctor after all. All I have to do is give band-aids to people who trip and fall. It's an easy job for the most part. I'm just drinking beer under the main tent. It's nothing compared to your work, my bear-san. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, ha ha ha. I want to drink barley tea with them too. Nipa. You absolutely cannot, Furude-san. Oh, good evening, my Baraka. Nice to meet you too, my bear-san. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for coming to so nice. Thanks for being so nice to my son all the time. My Baraka, are you ready for the auction? I'm looking forward to seeing your show. It felt weird to see Chi-sensei and the principal outside of school. You could check you're performing a dance at the festival, right? I heard this right after my show. I'm looking forward to it. It's a traditional ceremony that she's performing. I'm sure you're nervous about it, huh? How do you feel this year? I'm used to it now, so I'm fine. You've only done it once last year, but you're already used to it. I'm impressed. Mabara-san, it's been a while. Oh, Oishi-san, it's nice to see you. Have you been practicing the Tsubame Gaishi? We should play together. Well, you won't get better unless you play every day, you know. You know how to play Mahjong with Baraka? Oh, he knows how to play, doesn't he? He's a pretty good player, too. Perhaps we really should start playing Mahjong in our club now. Well, we should go and crush every Mahjong parlor in the city. She thinks I'm an experienced player since I was practicing the Tsubame Gaishi the other day. Why do people misunderstand me all the time? By the way, Mabara-kan, I heard that about that case. What case? About what you're planning to do tomorrow. I mean, a few of my staff members and I are going to be there as well. Takano-san and Tomataka-san are coming too. We can't bring that many people, but I hope you let us join you. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. Every person counts. Ari, I'm sorry that we can't do much to help her, but we still want to do something. This is what Takano-san suggested. Takano? Yeah, she wanted to help somehow. She feels bad that she wasn't able to assist you the other day. Oh, you talk about that rumor? The one saying that Mabara-san's become the leader of the protest group or something? Even if you know about it, you know about Satoko? Of course he does. He's very sensitive to rumors inside the village. It's only my job. I'm very aware of what's going on with Satoko-san. Uishi-san. What would you do? Blah, blah, blah. What do you think about her case? Uishi-san is, after all, a police officer. Could he maybe have an option other than going to the Child Consolation Center? I also think that going to the Consolation Center is the smartest thing to do. Then you're also saying there's no way to save her before something happens. We would probably do the same. We'd meet here with her and him and tell her not to harm her. I'm sure a professional social worker could do a better job at that, though. They take care of these abuse issues better than the police can. Police only take action after something happens, but the Child Consolation Center can make a move before it does. Nah, it's a lot easier if we could arrest criminals before they commit crimes. However, we need to be very careful about whom we arrest. No, we don't want to lose our jobs. In that sense, there's nothing wrong with them saying that they want to wait and see for a while. Meep. Well, I do think the Constellation Center is being unreasonable. However, it seems terrible from the point of view of those who know Satoko-san and Teppei-san. Uishi-san was exactly right. They must be assuming that we're all overreacting, making such a big fuss. It's only a couple of days since he took her away, but that mindset could create huge problems. I'm sure they're going to call him tonight because we told him that she's been missing school for 3 days. They'll ask him why she isn't going to school. I think they might beat her up for that. I don't know, however, if he continues to keep her at home after the phone call, the child consultation, and they'll probably make a move. I think they'll talk to him about it, and so she might come to school tomorrow. That's possible. Tepe can't stay in Okonomiya for some reason. That's why he needs to stay at the Satoko's house. I'm sure he doesn't want any further trouble. He can't stay in Okonomiya for some reason? Nah, haha, that's right, for some reason. I heard that he has some kind of money-related trouble. You don't know about that, Sonozaki-san? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean, Mion? There's a reason he wants to stay in Satoko's house? Well, yeah. Tepe has money issues, so he can't live in Okonomiya anymore. He's hiding out in Misawa until the trouble brews over. And then he should hide somewhere alone. Why would he try and drag Satoko-chan into this? You want Satoko's your maid, right? It's the same thing. No, that's not right. Maids are about love. There is love behind all my desires. I'm totally against violence. A master should treat his maid with love. Let's just ignore that pervert for a moment. So she's saying you think there's no choice but to let the Constellation Center take care of it? I think that's the most realistic plan. There are certain steps you need to follow. When you take a piss, you go to the toilet and pull your zipper. If you don't follow those steps, it ends up in disaster. That's a gross way to put it, you disgusting old man. Nah, I'm sorry I can't help you. But I do find Satoko-san's case unfortunate. I hope that everyone gets to have a happy ending. The Child Constellation Center is going to make the decisions regardless, but what you guys are doing isn't against the law either. What you're doing, Mabear-kun, is not a mistake. Don't give up. I'll do all you can do. I'll support you too. Thank you very much. We all went there yesterday, and today we're going to go there tomorrow too. I believe we can save her as long as we don't give up. 3 days in a row, huh? I heard you took 20 people with you today. Are you going to take that meme more tomorrow? Key-chan is really talented when it comes to stuff like this. You'll be surprised. There's going to be 60 people tomorrow. That's amazing. I can see you becoming an active labor union leader when you grow up. The head of our union is pretty deplorable. At that moment, I heard someone clapping. It was almost 9 p.m. The meeting was over. Everyone returned to their seats and listened to as each second head's report on what they discussed. You're incredible, Kichi. You know so many people from the village. But there are even more people that I don't know. Are you sure? You were talking to so many of them. I'm really impressed. They're such nice people. Maybe I should be more involved with them, too. You should. Humans always all about helping each other. I know you're busy with your work, but you should be involved as much as you can. Pooh. I'm going to talk with your mother about that, I think. That's it for the meeting today. The next meeting is... tomorrow. I'll see you all then. It will be the last major meeting before the festival. Thank you for coming in today. Chairman, will you give us some closing remarks? No, it's fine. Let's just go home and get some drinks. That's it for now. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Wahahaha. Everyone left at Mayor Kimiyoshi's closing remarks. We finished cleaning up and everyone began falling out the building. Even though it's a weekday, some of them were going out for drinks. They asked my dad to go along with them. My dad isn't an ordinary worker. He can sleep in if he wants to, as long as he makes his deadlines. Kichi, they want me to come for a drink, so I'm going, okay? Sure, have fun. I'm heading home now. Going home alone was kind of sad, so I thought I'd walk home with Mia, but she was still lingering at the meeting with the mayor and other important people. She was probably busy with the festival being so near. As I complimented the waiter to wait for her, not Oshiki-san came up to me. Good job at the meeting. How did you get here? I can give you a ride home if you want. I came here on my bike. Plus, I'm waiting for Mion. I see. You'll be waiting a while, though. They're discussing the trouble they had with the refreshment booth team. Trouble with the refreshment booth team? It seems like such a fun festival, but they still have some issues, huh? Oh, yes. It's hard to make justice. Like shaved ice and yakisoba are always popular, so everyone wants to do those. But it'd be a problem if all the booths sold yakisoba, right? They need to make those kind of adjustments so there will be a variety of booths, but people get so upset when they have to run a booth that's not going to make much money, you know? They suggest running the booths in rotation every year, but some people don't have enough staff to do certain kinds of booths, and other people claim that their yakisoba is better than everyone else's. They also fight about locations and who to hire, etc., etc. I had no idea that preparations for a festival was so complicated. Everyone, everything needs adjustments. I guess it sounds like a boring adult talk for a young man like yourself. But adjustments are necessary to make things go smoothly. What you're doing at the Child Constellation Center is a secret adjustment in a way. Satoko-san and Tepe-san don't even know about it. I guess you might be right. But we have no choice but to raise our voices. That's the only option we got. No, I'm proud to see you do something like this. If I was your age, I'd be able to think of this attacking them in the dark. But she must have no other plans. She stuck around while I waited for Mion. There was no one else around at that time of night. It would felt pretty lonely if he had been there with me. I'm glad that Wishy stayed to chat and there was in the sign there, okay. We talked about Mahjong for a while, its jury techniques and history. I rarely talk with the guys age, so it's very interesting for me. It's nice to interact with people from a different generation sometimes. He's also a police officer. He was secretly hoping that he'd give me a hint about how to save Satoko. In any case, I had to wonder what was taking me on so long. By the time Oshi's son finished his second cigarette, I started to think that maybe I should just go home for the night. I think I'm going to head home. Miana's taking too long. I have something big to take care of after school tomorrow. Going to the Child Constellation Center, you mean? Yes. I'm going to save the fight until they come up with the plan to save Satoko. Consistency is important. This is all we can do. Oshi's son smiled upon hearing my passionate words. I bet the Child Constellation Center understands your point by now. You know there's a limit to what you can do. It's important to know when to quit. If you go too far, it will make only things worse, more complicated. Same thing. But I can't just let Satoko suffer. Of course you can't. I'm sure that the Child Constellation Center won't leave her be either. It will help her. They might help her, but probably only after she gets hurt. Yeah, true. And if Satoko suffers irreversible mental trauma, it'll be too late. Oishi took out his third cigarette. Damn, boy. That meant he was going to stay here until he finished it. I didn't feel like waiting here with him now. I just wanted to go home and relax so I could prepare for tomorrow. I'm going home now. You know, Bear-san, there's something I wanted to tell you. The tone of his voice changed slightly. Whatever it was, it sounded important. I stopped and turned back around to face him. Actually, you see, I don't think you should go to the Child Constellation Center tomorrow. You made your point already. But we need to do this so we can save Satoko. They aren't getting how urgent the situation is. We have to make them even more of a fuss if that's what it takes for them to understand. I think we'll make a bigger impact if we go 3 days in a row. You're trying to show them every courtesy, huh? But you know, my Bear-san, sometimes you should just let sleeping dogs lie. What? Let me make this clear. This isn't a warning from the police, and no one told me to tell you this. I'm just giving you advice as your Mahjong friend. The word advice didn't sound pleasant at all. I felt myself running involuntarily. Do you know what the Child Constellation Center is thinking? You guys showed up 2 days in a row and you brought your 20 people with you today. They're afraid you'll show up again tomorrow. Then why don't they just listen to us? I hope they're not planning to build a barricade so we can get into the building tomorrow. No, they won't do that. Their job is to listen to these claims. They'll accept anyone who comes to make an appeal. They can't stop you from coming no matter how many times you show up. They know that too, so they need to take care of the matter before you bring even more people and cause some more trouble. You mean, have they already made a decision to save Satoko? Not quite. They've started making secret adjustments so that you can't come by to pressure them anymore. What do you mean? They made a secret adjustment so that I couldn't bother them anymore? I felt confused, and then Uchi-san said something that almost sounded like a line from a political drama. These officials sometimes act like a bit like the Yakuza. They don't want their badge disrespected. It's normal for them to ignore opinions opposing the decisions they made, even if they realize their office is in the wrong. So they listen to us. Other people will come to get to the office and get their cases taken care of. That's exactly it. Now, they don't want people challenging their decisions. They will listen to your appeal, but they'll never change their stance unless there's something odd going on. Plus, this time, Satoko's sentence case is nothing special or noteworthy to them. He may have taken her away from where she lived, but it's a legal access he has his parental rights. It's not like a parent without custody forcing his child to live with them. After all, he's the only blood relative she has. There's nothing, legally speaking, that prevents them from living together. But that's not the case with Satoko and her uncle. You know that too. You know how violently he abused her last year. That was last year. The Child Constellation Center can't do anything about it if he tells them that he feels remorse over what happened then. And more than anything, Satoko-san told him that he's not abusing her. That's because last year Satoko relied on her brother, and she deeply regrets overburdening him. So as far as she's concerned, she's seeking help feels like she's betraying her brother. I see. It might be very difficult to persuade the Chalk Constellation Center in that case. In that case, well, can anyone, for any reason like that, Center can't understand why you and your group are pressuring this issue so hard. We're just trying to let them know that Teppei is a violent person, that we can't let Satoko stay with them. But why? You weren't here in him all last year. I don't know. I don't think you know much about Teppei-san. Why are you so sure that he's that dangerous? That was a hard question to answer. I didn't know much about Teppei. I didn't even see his face, but I just know way back in a different world, I didn't see Satoko. I just stood by and I seen a world where Satoko was irreversibly broken and we all cried and regretted it. Couldn't explain that to Wishi though. My friend had understood my premonition, but it's weird for someone to be so aggressive just based on what he saw in his imagination. I mentioned it earlier, but sometimes a divorced couple battles for the custody of their child. The couple can sue each other, and sometimes the relatives sue the couple too. Some of them decide to sue their partner not for their child, but just because they hate them. This case is very similar to something like that. It looks as though you're taking actions because you hate Teppei Hojo. The Child Constellation Center needs to determine if you're doing that out of hate or out of genuine concern towards Satoko-san. Not all people go to the center out of goodwill like you. They can only make a decision after carefully determining if the information given by the petitioner is genuine or not. You need to understand that. So you're saying that because I was too direct with them, they were mistaking my appeal as one born of ill will? No, you don't have to worry about that. Just please try to understand that they've had to evaluate it carefully. If they put a child under protection every time they got a report, then they were carrying out of control. That's right. I think there was a passage in the civil law book that senators showed us the first day. The family or prosecutor must make an appeal to the family court. Family issues have to be resolved within the family. An outside appeal might have moved to the center to take action, but an outsider can't tell them not to respond. And then when it comes to that, Satoko's only family is her uncle. Since her uncle obviously wasn't going to do anything about this, Satoko would have to seek help on her own. But Satoko is denying that she's being abused at all. This isn't going anywhere. The Constellation Center is simply hoping that you'll give up. They have other cases that need more urgent matter, but they're not sure yet they should ask you to give up. That's what I wanted to tell you today. What do you mean? I don't get it. Mayberry-san, would you visit them today? Did they treat you any better than yesterday? Yeah, a bit, but we were taken to a bigger room and the manager came to see us too. You might think that the manager is ranked just a little bit above the regular staff members. However, his position is as high as I have a section chief in a regular company. It's very difficult to achieve that position. The person you talked to today is actually a very powerful man, more than you could imagine. It's not normal for them to do that. The manager normally never shows up for a consultation. You need to recognize that the treatment you got today was a very special one. It never seemed that special to me. I thought we were taken to a big room because we went there with more people, and Reina told them to adjust to us. Because you were so well organized, they're suspecting that you're not the actual leader, and that the Sonozaki family are the ones behind this movement. I'm sure you know how powerful the Sonozaki family is in this village. I do. But it has nothing to do with the Sonozaki family. We're simply fighting to save our friend. Miana hasn't even mentioned her name. That's what the Child Consultation Center wanted to know. It's their normal routine to politely refuse a huge crowd of petitioners. However, things would be different if it was Oryu Sonozaki-san's idea. Oryu-san holds great sway in the city's government. No one could go against her wishes. I'm aware that Mia's grandmother is very powerful, but that has nothing to do with this. In order to make that clear, the local government officials have approached the Sonozaki family in secret. They met Oryu-san and asked her about this case. They were going to take action if they found out it was her idea, but they soon discovered otherwise. So they're not going to take action anymore? It's not just that. Oryu-san is now aware that there's a commotion going on within the village. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but some people in the village still hold a grudge against the Hojo family, the traitors of the dam conflict. Ever since the curse of Oyashiro-sama, the Sonozaki family has been telling people not to interact with the Hojo family. You might wake up to a sleeping dog if you continue to make all this noise. What happens if the dog wakes up? I don't know. Oishi paused for a while and drew on his short cigarette. I'm not saying that you'll be threatened or that they will hurt you. However, you just moved here and you're starting to get to know people from the village, but soon enough you might get to see the underside of this place. The issue between the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family, well, village-wide matters have been slightly taboo in our group, but we may have to go down that road now. It's a fact that we haven't gotten any support from adults except for the school teachers at Nairi. Other adults in the village must know what happened between Satoko and Teppei last year. They all understand that it would be a disaster if we don't rescue Satoko as soon as possible. However, no adult came forward to help us. If we continue our movement, will people who hate the Sojo family become our enemies too? That's possible. The Sonozaki family might get involved if we continue this commotion. You could say that the Sonozaki family is anti-Hoja. And that's true. If you could try to save Satoko-san using people from Inamizawa, that shows huge disrespect towards the Sonozaki family. It could create a huge problem. By that point, I knew this was a warning, not just advice. An ignorant young man in Himizawa is making noise, trying to wake up a sleeping dog. I know you're taking a liking to this place and that you're really doing your best here. That's why I thought I should let you know about this. I'm sorry if I upset you. I love Himizawa. I made a decision to make this place my home. I'm motivated about the big job I got for the festival, too. Would it really be wise for me to try and create all this trouble? I'm just speaking as your friend, nothing more. I'm not trying to threaten you or anything like that. I'm not trying to make you do anything you don't want to. I just wanted to give you this information. Oishi smiled at me and then stopped on his cigarette. I thought all I had just made the decision to do what was right. But this was only the stupid idea of an ignorant little boy. Did I need to grow up right now and think about this again? Dark clouds hung over my heart. But wait a minute, did that mean I didn't even have the courage to risk losing something? Was I not brave enough to save Satoko at all? I had to be the red fire. I couldn't give up, even if anyone else did. I had to fill other people up with righteous flames, just like I was. What's the matter? What's the bolts of all you're wearing right now? Thank you for the valuable advice, but I can't give up no matter what you tell me. I won't stop even if the whole world tells me to. Even if the whole world is against you. You're a stronger man than I thought. If the whole world is telling me what I'm thinking, and I'm making a mistake, I'll have to stop and evaluate myself. However, I'm already talked about Satoko's case with my friends over and over again. This isn't just my idea. I'm confident that a decision is the very best one to make. I agree with you, Maybear-san. Young people like you tend to make hasty and dangerous decisions. However, all of you are being very rational about this. You're making a democratic appeal. Just like Dr. Arya was saying, there's nothing wrong with your methods. I know, I'm positive that we're not making any mistakes. We're doing our best to save our friend. We're not going to give up just because we feel threatened. We are her true comrades. I have faith in us, even if the rest of the world doesn't. That's what friendship is all about. You have a strong will. Not even my detectives are as strong as you. Oishi-san gave me a wicked grin of admiration. I could tell from that grin he wasn't trying to pressure me at all. It was exactly the opposite of that. He has shared this information with me to confirm that I'm ready to face this challenge. I didn't even have to consider whether his last words were advice or a warning. Every man has things he wants to keep believing in, even if others don't share that belief. Of course, it's important to listen to advice with sincerity, but some beliefs you still can't turn away from. But that's what being a man is all about. I also have a strong will, you know. About 5 years ago, a person who was like a brother to me was killed. Was he murdered? That case was declared solved, but I'm continuing an investigation on loan because I suspect another person in control behind the scenes. The department told me that I was wasting my time. They told me to stop, but just like you, I can't give up. Are you getting close to finding out who did it? I don't know about that. Anyway, if your resolve is that strong, then there's nothing for you to fear. Just fall through on your beliefs. I'm often threatened to show more restraint if I want to keep my full retirement pay to myself, but I never give in. There's a lot of things we men can't convey without being unwavering. Mama, exactly right. We can't give up no matter how risky it will be. It is important to persuade your goal. And even if you end up playing it into their hand, that's what being a man is about. If you're going down, then go down fighting. You're right, waffling between whether to go or go back isn't the attitude of a real man. That's how a man should be. We bumped our fists together, reaffirming that real men are the same regardless of their generation. It wouldn't be a simple road to save Satoko, but I was never going to give up. I was going to save her. I had no doubts about that. I think that's about to conclude the video, probably. You know, including the unlocked hidden tip thingy, but you know. Okay, with the first note sending the brat back. So 2 new tips. I'm assuming that note one won't be too long. Good, okay, no relations. Beep beep beep. Beep beep beep. Okay. Please hold on a moment, I'll get her. All your signs, someone from the Matsubo government is calling. Hello? Hello, Sonozaki-san. This is, Ada from the Matsubo government. Thank you very much for Ohaki the other day. You're quite welcome. Thank you for your work at the Culture Festival. Also for providing that large parasol. How much does that thing cost? We use it every year, so we might as well buy one for ourselves. We borrowed that one from a teacher. I checked out the price, but the domestically made ones cost about 200,000 yen. I also found one made in China, and it's about less than half the price. I don't give us man China or not, just get one so we don't have to cause more trouble for the teachers. We're actually ordering it already. Once it arrives, you might want to take a look at it and make a final decision. Also, we've been holding the same Edo-style tea ceremony for the past 3 years. We should probably get an instructor from a different style. Can you look for a new instructor for next year? Oh, I see. We'll do, ma'am. We'll find a different tea ceremony instructor about that advisor. I have something else to ask you about, and here's me going on about a parasol, so what do you need? We were wondering if you heard anything about the case of the Satoko Hojo son of Hinazawa. Satoko Hojo, huh? You're talking about that blasted Hojo girl? What did she do? Well, she's recently moved in with her uncle, but she's been abused apparently. Have you heard anything about it? Her uncle, Satoko's being abused? I've never heard anything like that. Oh well, if you don't know, that's okay. To tell you the truth, someone from Hinazawa gave the petition to the Child Constellation Center. According to the center, that petitioner was very persistent. The manager felt it was better to talk with you if you already knew about it. I don't know anything, and I don't care. Why would I do anything with that pitiful child? There's Sonozaki from this, nothing to do with this. Have you heard anything about it from the town council? No, what are you saying? If Kimiyoshi was helping that blessed Hojo child, then the Sonozaki family would know about it. Who was petitioning the Child Constellation Center? I heard some of our classmates were there. Well, as far as I know, anyway, I guess it's just something that their classmates are doing, and the village has nothing to do with it. Of course, I don't know anything. The village has nothing to do with Satoko. The context of this conversation were forwarded to the Child Constellation Center. If Oyu was to be under commotion, then they had no idea. They had no need to take this case seriously. The manager told his staff to listen to what the petitioners have to say, but they never say anything promising the girl's safety. Kichi Mibera, huh? I guess a boy like that will grow up to be a political advocate in the future. Okay, sending the brat back. It had been here 3 days since he told her to stay home. He had got another call from that annoying teacher again, so he yelled at her and hung up the phone. That woman is too persistent, Teppei thought. She won't give up that easily. He was sure that she'd call the Child Constellation Center again. The biggest reason why Teppei refused to let Satoko go to school was his fear that she'd seek help when going there. She pretended like nothing was wrong when the social worker from the Child Constellation Center showed up, but that was only because he was right beside her. She probably would try him as soon as he got her chance. Then the Child Constellation Center would show up immediately. Maybe even the police would come and get him for assaulting Satoko. One of his friends had told him that the Child Constellation Center works works with police sometimes. Teppei had a lot of weight on his shoulders. If the police came, they ended up questioning him about the other trouble he was involved in. He couldn't let that happen. All he needed was the money. Teppei could leave this awful village behind as soon as he found his brother's bank book. Teppei usually stayed at home as he found the way the other villagers looked at him unpleasant. So when playing mahjong with his friends, he played it at Satoko's house. But mahjong requires at least 4 people. When Teppei couldn't get that many people to come over, he just stayed home alone and watched TV instead. He started using this ample free time to sniff around the house for his treasures. Satoko ended up cleaning up the mess he made. Besides, it was at his home anyway. What did it matter to him how much furniture he broke? He cleared out the closet and went up to the attic. He also pulled out the chest and searched them thoroughly. His wife had been a pretty clever woman. She must have hid it somewhere very unusual. He messed up the whole first floor. He went up to the second floor to search some more. The next moment, Satoko went and tried to tackle him. No, Nii's room. What the hell? No, you can't go inside Nii's room. Teppei immediately assumed that she was hiding the bank book in there. He threw her off and forced his way inside the room. However, Satoko tried to stop him with all of her might. It was amusing for Teppei to see Satoko resisting him to an extent, but it also surprised him a little. He asked her why she didn't want him to go into Satoshi's room. That room belongs to Nini. Nini will be hurt if he comes home and sees his room destroyed. You don't want me to come in here just because it's your brother's room? You don't even know if he's still alive. Nini is alive. He will come back home. Why? Don't destroy his room. What are you saying? I'm not going to destroy the room. I'm just trying to clean it up. Why would you have to say this when somebody's not in here anymore? I need to clean it up. No, you can't. Why? Nini, why? The hell, you really don't want me to go inside, huh? Satoko's crazy behavior convinced him that he should stop provoking her for the moment. While Teppei was very talented at threatening people, the spirit makes cowards courageous. If he ignores Satoko and tore the room apart, she might just run away. He didn't want Satoko to be nearby, but he also couldn't let her run loose. Fine, then, if you promise to be a good girl, I'm going to go inside this room, alright? Got it? Yes, but if you make me mad, I'm going to rip this room apart. If you escape from this house or tell people about what's happening, everything in there is going to end up in the garbage, you get it? Yes, thank you for giving me a chance. Teppei was sure the bank book was inside Satoshi's room, but Satoko would lose if he went inside. He wasn't pleased about the promise he made with her, but at least it would keep Satoko under control. It might not hurt him to send her off to school. If he kept her at home again tomorrow, the teacher might come to the house with the police in tow. He was only keeping her at home because he was afraid that Satoko would talk to other people. If she wasn't going to do that, it'd be better for him to send her to school. He could sneak into Satoshi's room while she was out. Satoko, you've been a good girl, so I guess your cold is all better, and I'll go back to school tomorrow. Thank you so much, thank you so much. He was the one who told her to say thank you, and he gives her approval to do something. But it annoyed him to hear her say it over and over. Get out of my sight, little brat guy. You're so annoying. Okay, I guess that's it. Longer end of the video spectrum. Okay, thank you guys for watching. That was kind of sore, so yeah, I'm glad this is kind of over now. I'll see y'all next time.